What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back once again. It's the Movie Trivia Face-Off, and you are so damn lucky because once again, I am here. I am the Elk, Andrew Kelk, and I am going to usher you through this geektacular matchup today. Once again, with the very exciting event coming up quick, everything's winding down. We are going to determine a new entrant into World War Geek today. We're going to find out their number and all of it with the pleasure, the joy, the wonder of me, the Elk, here on the desk, along with my wonderful co-host who is David Garcia.
Hey, I always love what face you make when you realize I am not Alex. I am David, back on the desk. This is going to be a very, very, very exciting match. The World War Geek is very near. World War Geek is right there. We are merely 2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks away, literally 2 weeks away from the event. Every single geek player, including me, is excited. Every single one wants to punch their ticket to that. And I mean, these two debut people have the opportunity to be the champion, only winning 2 matches. So that's a pretty big chance.
David, we've got 2 new competitors coming in here today, and obviously World War Geek on the line. That's going to raise the stakes of the matchup. They're going to find out what their number is even before you do. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I mean, I like the mystery. What can I say? That match is something that what I love about that match is you never know. And knowing my number is not going to help me at all, really. I see people nervous about their numbers. I am really not. In that type of match, you have to compete against basically yourself. You have to do the best you can and last as many rounds as you can. So if I enter early, good, I'll go for MVP. If I enter late, good, I'll go for the championship and just try and do my best, just like every single person on that match should do.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you crash and burn on that wonderful day. Lots of great stuff coming up at World War Geek, folks. Special event with some special guests. We are going to have a whole lot of great surprises for you in store. And I don't know a lot about these 2 competitors, but I do know one thing for sure. If your name's the Elk, you have to back the buck. Let's find out what our competitors had to say about the match today in our pre-match interviews. Take it away.
Hey there, geeks. How's it going? So, it's the Movie Trivia Face-Off. Like, how cool is this, man? How cool is this? Just competing with a bunch of fans who love movie trivia. This is my first time here, so I'm actually pretty excited to see how this goes. Don't know much about who I'm facing, so it's gonna have to adjust on the fly and see how things go, but I feel pretty confident on how things will go today. But just so my opponent knows, the buck stops here.
All right, name's Teddy. Debut match. Been seeing a lot of movie trivia schmodown. Thought I'd give it a chance, but I'm here to make my mom proud on Mother's Day. I don't know much about my opponent either, but we'll just see how it goes. Now I know that World War Geek is in effect. I now have more incentive to win this match, so we'll just see how it goes. The Greek Freak is here.
All right, we are back, folks, from those pre-match interviews with both of our competitors, both debuting, both excited about World War Geek coming up, as they should be, as all of you should be. Do make sure to check that one out when it rolls around. But for today, we don't have World War Geek. All we have is 2 guys fighting it out with a whole lot of movie trivia knowledge, some real geeky minds up on top, and a chance to enter that big matchup, go for that title. David, are you ready to get our competitors in here?
Yeah, let's do this. I'm excited about it.
Then with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to face off. Introducing first, making his debut in the Movie Trivia Face-Off Geektacular division, he is Teddy, the Greek Freak, Jovaras. Welcome, Teddy, to the MTFO. Good luck to you today, sir. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you in World War Geek. You could win this match. You could win that play-in. If it doesn't go your way, let's get your opponent in here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent. Also making his Movie Trivia Face-Off debut, he is Brandon Buck.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise playing in the
Hello, hello, Mr. Buck. I like your name. Man of style, man of class.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So we've got you in here. This is your first time in the movie trivia face-off. So, of course, we will go ahead and give you all the rules for your rounds. But before we get started, I want you to take a moment, shake off those nerves, get ready. And remember, there's nothing on the line except the chance to be a champion in a movie trivia league. Not too much pressure.
Nah.
Guys, I will ask you both real quick. Teddy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And Brandon, are you ready?
The Buck is ready.
All right, will the buck stop here? Let's find out. Let's get ready to face off. Round number one, first, gentlemen. In round number one, your rules will work as follows. In this round, each competitor will be asked 10 movie trivia questions, each corresponding to a geektacular category. Each question will be worth a value of 1 point. Once we have asked the question, you'll have approximately 15 seconds to write your best attempt at an answer on your whiteboard. And once we have finished our count and asked for you by name, please show your whiteboard to the camera and verbalize it at the same time. Throughout the course of the match, each competitor will have 3 repeats. If you didn't hear a question or need to reset your timer, use a repeat. We have a challenge for each competitor. If you feel a question has gone against you incorrectly, use a challenge, and we will review it. If your challenge is upheld, you will retain your challenge and have use of it further in the match. If it is overturned, you will lose your challenge. Also, a reminder to our competitors, as this is an internet movie trivia show, during question asking periods and all rounds, when you are required to answer questions, please keep your hands and whiteboards visible on screen as much as possible, hopefully at all times. With that, David, the rules out of the way. I've got my document ready here, and I can't wait to see who's going to have a better spot in World War Geek than you. You ready to do this?
Let's go. All right, so guys, your first category is in a galaxy far, far away named Star Wars.
Ooh, David hates this.
I do. To the core. What is the name of Leia's adoptive father? So I have to say, probably not the most famous father in Star Wars.
That is probably true, and I would like to answer this question, but I'm pretty sure I'd just say Vernon Dursley.
Yeah. I don't know if I prefer Vader or Vernon as my father, though.
5, 4, 3, 2, definitely Vader. Cooler starships.
Yeah,
1.
All right, then we go to Teddy.
I could be blanking. Is it Bail Organa?
We'll accept the spelling. Yeah, Bail Organa is correct. And Brandon?
Bail Organa.
1-1.
All right, that's the way we like to see a match start off. And gentlemen, let's keep it going as we move on to your second question, coming in the category of DC EU. And your question. In Birds of Prey, who plays Huntress?
Huh. It's a cool name.
You've seen the movie, I see.
I have pretty recently, actually. I mean, not that the movie has been out for a long time either, but
Enjoyable film. Could have done better at the box office. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We go to Brandon.
I know it's a 3-name name, but I was blanking on the first and middle, so I put Rachel Winstead.
Rachel Winstead. Very close, but unfortunately incorrect. Did Teddy have it?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is.
I couldn't remember the first two.
Perfect through 2.
I was like, I know it's Winstead. I couldn't remember the other one.
Yeah.
So I was drawing a blank.
all right, guys. So with Teddy getting a small lead, we are going to go with a category the elk hates, Back to the Future.
Terrible movies.
How
Terrible.
dare you? How dare you?
Members of the Cannon family regularly crash into vehicles containing what substance through the series? Now we go asking about substances. If you had to crash in a vehicle full of a substance, it's a difficult word to say in English. What will it be?
Probably cocaine, because that 5 minutes before my heart explodes would be fantastic.
Okay, don't do drugs, kids, please. In 5, 4.
Sorry, I was thinking of Birds of Prey.
Hands down, and we go to Teddy.
It's a manure.
Manure is correct. Brandon?
I don't know if I spelled it right, but manure.
That is
Yeah, we can accept that.
acceptable. Looks good enough to me.
Yeah,
A
we
little
can
bit of a Jane Fonda, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Looks like we are going to go to a different comic book company because your next category is in Marvel films. And once again, we're going to ask you for an actress, as I asked, who plays Roxanne Simpson in Ghost Rider?
I haven't rewatched this movie for a little while. I did rewatch the sequel.
Yes, agreed on the sequel. You and I do not always get along, David, but the Ghost Rider sequel is not a good film, and neither one of us is being sarcastic this time. 5,
Ghost Rider and Shield's actually
4,
pretty good, though.
3, 2, and 1. Pens are down. Let's go to the buck.
Eva Mendes?
The buck does stop there. That is correct for a point. And Teddy,
Eva Mendes.
absolutely. Well done.
All right, gentlemen, oh my goodness, gentlemen, keep the momentum going with Indiana Jones. I was waiting for the soundtrack. Okay, which character in Raiders of the Lost Ark utters the line "bad dates"? What's your definition of a bad date?
Oh, gee, that is a tough one. I've got to say, all humor aside, it's when you get an hour into the date and you realize there's been at least 10 minutes of an awkward silence, you're in for a bad time.
Yep, I can agree to that. Even though I kind of wish you shut up sometimes, so I'm not sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, and we go to Teddy.
I don't have it.
There goes the perfect round. And Brandon?
Sala?
That is correct.
Sala is the correct answer, and we've tied it back up halfway through this round. Well done by both competitors there. No perfect rounds, as you said, David. You didn't even get the chance to jinx it today. I know you love to do that.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Gentlemen, let's go on to the back half of round number 1. Question number 6 is in the category of DC. I'm getting all the comic book ones today. And your question is, in Batman and Robin, Dick Grayson is seen performing what household chore using martial arts?
I am not going to say anything.
There are many things that could be said about this film.
Like, if I comment on this particular action, it will probably give it away. So
I felt the same way. I was going to say something to you during the question about Back to the Future, but then I knew I would have given it away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down. Brandon?
Mopping?
Mopping. Not the correct answer. We're going to go to Teddy.
It's sweeping.
Sweeping also incorrect. We were looking for doing laundry. Doing laundry.
Oh, that's right.
I have to say, though, Brandon got close in the DCEU universe because they mope a lot.
They do.
All right. It's not time for me to drink. It's time for me to ask the next question. In the category of another galaxy, but a little too closer. A little closer. Star Trek. Which Star Trek film features an admiral and a crew member who share the last name Marcus? That is an interesting question. You have to go through all the films in your head, characters, last names. There are a lot of admirals in there.
It's true. It's a great wide galaxy that Star Trek is exploring. And while they're on that trek through the stars, our competitors on a trek just to find the correct answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Teddy.
The Star Trek Into Darkness.
That is correct. And Brandon.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
That is also correct.
I shout out to the great Peter Weller.
Elk, I have to say, 6 questions into this match, we are in for a good one.
I think that is true, especially since we are now going to our 8th question, not our 7th. Question number 8 for you. The category trend continues as I get MCU. And we need to know, in Black Panther, which tribe does M'Baku lead?
What will be the name of your tribe? The Elks? Or something like that?
Well, I mean, if I had a whole bunch of people following me around and doing everything I say, I would call that a
Stupid.
Tuesday.
Stupid.
5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Brandon?
I don't know if this is right. Mountain Tribe?
The Mountain Tribe, not the answer we are looking for on our document here. Teddy?
Didn't have it.
We were looking for the Jabari. The Jabari.
What?
David,
I had it.
I thought that might have been the Jinx question.
I will have definitely said something about before that one.
I had it too. I literally said, I was like, wait, is it
They were
that?
in the mountains. They were in the mountains. All right. So, 9th question. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Turtles travel through time in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. But to which country did they also travel? Huh.
These turtles really getting around. First movie, they're hiding out in New York, trying to make sure nobody knows they exist. By the third one, I mean, come on, they're all over the place.
I mean, in the third one, I haven't seen the third one, but I remember the second one being like, why are you fighting with food? You have swords.
Right, and I believe that was a censorship issue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we go to Teddy.
Total guess, England.
That is incorrect. And Brandon.
China.
That is also incorrect. It's Japan.
Oh, yes.
Japan, home of the art of ninjutsu.
Yep.
All right, very obvious place for the turtles to go. And I got to say, good round so far. A little bit of trouble with a question or two, but we've got one more coming your way, guys. And both of you can go over that 50% mark, potentially, if you can answer a question in my favorite category, Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, gentlemen. And I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Finish this Gandalf quote from Return of the King. Now come the days of the king, may they be blank.
So, how many kings do you think we have in this league right now?
Well, I mean, we've got a king, we've got a king slayer, we've got me styling up the joint every time I show up. I'd say probably about a half a dozen.
Maybe.
Or maybe as low as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for the final time in round number 1, we will go to Brandon.
Plentiful.
Plentiful, not the correct answer. Teddy, did you have it for the lead?
Good guess, peaceful.
We were looking for blessed. May they be blessed. Still not a bad round, as I said, David, from either competitor, both coming in, debuting, and we know there's some nerves that are involved when you get into a matchup for the first time. Maybe you're not used to the studying you need to do. So I'd say 5 points coming out of round 1, not too bad. And with a title shot on the line at World War Geek, with that chance to get into the match and maybe come out with that championship, there is a lot of pressure as well. So I think both competitors handling themselves well, and very exciting to have it all tied up going into round number 2.
Yeah, 5-5 is nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, let's just bring out that hateful wheel.
And David, you might want to get that Star Wars coin ready. Gentlemen, here are your rules for round number 2. In round number 2, in the Movie Trivia Face-Off Geektacular division, each competitor will receive a spin at the category wheel. Once that wheel's landed on a category, you may opt to keep the category, or you may spin again if you have not landed on opponent's choice up to 1 time. Once you have selected your category or had it selected for you, you will be given 5 questions corresponding to that Geektacular category. Each question will be given a value of 2 points. If you cannot answer the question on your own, you may ask for multiple choice, in which case we will give you 4 options, one of which will be the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. Reminder to our competitors, stealing is now live in this round. So if your opponent misses or fails to answer a question, you may steal at the current point value. The lead can really change up there. Repeats and challenges still in effect. And we have a tie from 2 debuting competitors. So we did our coin flip. We determined our winner of that particular flip, and that, maybe it's a good sign for him, is going to be the Greek freak himself, Teddy Jovaras. You get the option. Would you like to spin the wheel first, or would you like to defer to Brandon?
I'm going to defer.
All right, before Brandon spin, the categories on your wheel for today are Indiana Jones, Wizarding World, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movie quotes, MCU, Middle Earth, Star Trek, DCEU, and of course, opponents and spinner's choice. Brandon, whenever you're ready, give us a ceremonial high sign and we'll get that wheel in motion. I like that he waved at the camera. Good humor, but will it be a good spin? It looks like it might just be a real good one. Spinner's choice on his debut spin. We're going to give you a few moments. If you need those categories again, let me know.
Let's go DCEU.
Whoa.
DCEU, the selection for Teddy. David, do you want to take these or should I?
You know what? You take them. You are the comic book guy today.
I am the comic book guy. That's right, because I'm bright, I'm colorful, and kids love me. All right, we've got 5 questions coming your way in DCEU just for you, Brandon. But remember, Teddy, those steals are live. Don't forget your repeats, your challenges throughout this round. Gentlemen, reminder since you are debuting. DCEU, Brandon, question number 1. In Wonder Woman, who plays the piano while celebrating the victory at the small village of Veld?
Let's go multiple choice.
I can do that for you. Your multiple choice options are A, Diana, B, Charlie, C, Samir, D, Steve.
Let's go C, Samir.
C, Samir, incorrect. We go to Teddy for your chance to steal. Your options once again: A, Diana, B, Charlie, C, Samir, D, Steve.
B, Charlie.
B, Charlie is correct. B, Charlie is correct for the point. Good steal by Teddy there, but we're just getting started in the round, so go back to Brandon. Brandon, your next question is, who plays Silas Stone in Justice League?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options for Silas Stone are A, Joe Morton, B, Phil Morris, C, Carl Lumbly, D, Rocky Carroll.
Repeat the choices.
I can do that for you. A, Joe Morton, B, Phil Morris, C, Carl Lumbly, D, Rocky Carroll.
Let's go C.
C, Carl Lumbly, incorrect. Teddy for the steal. A, Joe Morton, B, Phil Morris, C, Carl Lumbly, D, Rocky Carroll.
A.
A, Joe Morton, correct for a second steal in this round. Not going the way he had hoped it would, David. Let's see if he can change that direction halfway into the round. Question number 3 for you, Brandon. What is the name of the Kryptonian database that Cal has imprinted on his genetic structure as a baby before his parents sent him from Krypton in Man of Steel?
The Codex.
That is the direction he wants to be going in. 2 big points, tying him back up with Teddy with 2 questions left to go in his round. Well done. Let's see if you can continue it. Question number 4. According to Deadshot in Suicide Squad, why do the monsters always try to grab Rick Flag?
Multiple choice because I don't know what you guys are looking for.
Multiple choice options. A, because Enchantress hates his relationship with June Moon. B, because Enchantress is in love with him. C, because he knows where Enchantress's heart is. Or D, because Enchantress is scared of him.
C.
C, he knows where Enchantress's heart is. Incorrect. For the steal, your options once again, Teddy. Enchantress hates his relationship with June Moon. Enchantress is in love with him. He knows where Enchantress's heart is. Or Enchantress is scared of him.
Enchantress is scared of him.
And the steals keep on coming. That is correct for a point. Well answered. And with that, he's now in the lead once again. Brandon looking to return to the lead before he turns that wheel over. Your final question in DCEU, Brandon. In Batman versus Superman, what is the first weapon Superman is hit with in his fight with Batman in the movie?
Flamethrowers.
No multiple choice, and flamethrowers incorrect, so no multiple choice option for Teddy. Teddy, your guess for 2 big points.
It's the His first time. Was it the Batmobile?
It is not the Batmobile. That is before the fight scene. We were looking
the
for
fight scene.
sonic cannons. Sonic cannons pop out of the ground and shoot him with sound.
Oh, that was a tough round for Brandon.
That was a very tough round. DCEU going a little bit deeper and some questions you really had to think on. Unfortunately, not going the way he would like as we now move on to Teddy's wheel. And Teddy has managed to take a single 1-point lead just off of the steals. Can he extend that lead? Can he potentially even push it towards that dreaded KO territory? We're going to find out. Let's get that wheel back in here. All right. And Teddy, whenever you are ready.
Spin it.
Round and look at this.
What are the odds?
What are the odds indeed? I could do the math on it, but instead we'll just let Teddy have a moment. Teddy, whenever you're ready, pick your category.
Gonna go with MCU.
MCU. All right.
DCEU. Now we have MCU, competing comic book companies.
All right, MCU. So we all know these questions have been getting a little deeper. So let's see how Teddy manages. All right. Teddy, your first question. Name the World War II military unit that at one time included MCU legends like Captain America, Bucky Barnes, and Dum Dum Dugan. Right.
I'm gonna take multiple choice on that.
I can do that for you. A, the Super Soldiers. B, the Thunderbolts. C, the Howling Commandos. Or D, SHIELD.
Oh man. Howling Commandos?
That is correct for 1 point.
That's it.
Right, Teddy, your second question. In Endgame, Red Skull reveals the names of one parent for both Black Widow and Hawkeye. What is Hawkeye's mother's name?
Oh god.
Said, getting a little deeper here.
You did say it, David. I know that MCU category very popular. If it were me, I might even consider spinning away. And you know I'm strong in MCU.
Yeah, you're right, most of the MCU questions.
I'll take multiple choice on that.
All right, and your multiple choices are A, Margaret, B, Edith, C, Catherine, D, Helen.
Can I get the choices again without a repeat?
Yep, I can do that for you. A, Margaret, B, Edith, C, Catherine, D, Helen.
So Margaret?
A, Margaret is incorrect. So, Brandon, for steal, your options are A, Margaret, B, Edith, C, Catherine, D, Helen.
Let's go B.
B, Edith is correct for 1 point steal. He really
well
needed to
done on the steal. That is Natasha, daughter of Ivan, and Clint, son of Edith. Good steal. He needed that point.
Let's just hope Ivan is not an answer for another question. So,
It would be a first time for me to give that away.
in Iron Man 3, on which country does the flashback of New Year's Eve take place? Countries, geography. You have to know
Holidays.
those. Eves. It's all about the
multiple choice.
All right. Your multiple choices are A, Sweden, B, Romania, C, Switzerland, D, Lithuania. Lithuania?
Lithuania.
Yeah, I said it right the first time.
I'm gonna go
Like they can't get
Sweden.
professionals on the desk.
I'm sorry?
This is Sweden. I'm gonna go with.
Sweden is incorrect. Brandon, for your steal, your options are A, Sweden, B, Romania, C, Switzerland, D, Lithuania.
Switzerland?
And that's another point.
Looking very exciting. Round number 2, double spinner's choice and turning into a Steal-a-Palooza for both competitors.
Do you think they switched categories? They just didn't like...
We were.
Are you saying, David, that we're living in Switzerland right now?
I am not. I mean, it was kind of good, but not. Yeah. Okay. In Ant-Man and the Wasp, what alias does Hope use to meet with Sony?
Oh my God! Yeah, multiple choice on that again.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Susan, B, Mary, C, Eve, D, Sandra. Sandra. That's
What was C again?
C. I
You
can give
need-
you the options again if you want.
Okay.
Do you want?
Yeah, repeat.
Oh.
Yeah, answers.
A, Susan, B, Mary, C, Eve, D, Sandra.
And we're going to give you a short timer unless you'd like to use a repeat. So 5,
Let's go with Eve.
4.
Eve is incorrect. Brannon, for another point, steal and take the lead. A, Susan, B, Mary, C, Eve, D, Sandra.
Let's go B.
B, Mary is also incorrect. The answer was Susan. A.
And this category proving that geeks know a lot, but they don't know girls' names.
Right. Let's see if they know other type of names. Your final question in this round. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, how does Yondu call Groot during the movie?
So I think, David, we're probably looking for a nickname here.
Yeah.
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are A, Woody, A, Woody, B, Rand, C, Root, D, Twig.
Twig.
Twig is correct for 1 point.
And you'll have to forgive David for that question. He always has trouble handling a Woody. Good round by both competitors. I've never seen quite that particular turn of events. Spinner's choice. And where are the points going? In the other direction, both times. Steal. That is impressive. Hey, sometimes you run into some questions you don't know the answer to, but I think that may be a first here. And it leaves us in a very exciting position as we are tied up very nearly 10 to 9. We are very nearly tied up. Teddy, just that 1 point ahead, and 1 point may be all it takes to win this matchup. We don't know what number it is yet. We don't know where they're coming into that matchup, but there's a real possibility winning this match could be your first step to the Movie Trivia Face-Off GEEKTACULAR World Championship. And gentlemen, when it's so close, it's all going to come down to this round number 3. All right, gentlemen, round number 3 for this matchup will work as follows. In round number 3, each competitor will be receiving 3 questions. Each of these questions will be determined when the competitors pick a category number. They're going to give us 3 numbers each, and those will range from 1 to 19. 1 to 19 is your question range. Once you've given us your numbers, we will give you the questions that correspond to various categories on those numbers, and you will give me your questions at 2 points, then 3 points, then 5 points value. These questions are for you and you alone. Stealing is no longer live. Repeats and challenges all still in effect. And at this time, Teddy Jovaras, the Greek Freak, you are in the lead by 1 point. So please give us your 3 numbers.
Let's do 2, 10, and 8.
Right?
All right, 2, 10, and 8 for Teddy.
And Brandon.
3, 7, 13.
Right?
3, 7, and 13.
All right. So you took Brandon, right?
I will ask Brandon his questions, and Brandon, as you are currently trailing by 1 point, we will begin with you, but all you got to do, answer that 2-point question, throw it back on over to Teddy. Your category was number 3, and your category is Star Trek. Star Trek. For 2 points, how many Star Trek films featured the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
4.
Correct. 2 big points, and we throw it back on over.
Right? Teddy, you selected number 2, and your question comes in the category of DC EU, a category that was your opponent's spinner's choice, and you did very good at. In Suicide Squad, how is Dr. June Moon also known as?
Enchantress?
That's correct for 2 points.
Gotta love the 2-pointers. They're always so tough.
I mean, that answer was kind of already given earlier, but
Well, don't take this away from me now.
I will point out for all you nitpickers out there, technically speaking, that question did ask if Enchantress hated the fact that June Moon was in a relationship with Rick Flag, but never implicitly linked the two together otherwise. Very, very careful with those questions. We've got a lot of people out there who are on us about that one, and we want to make sure that everything is fair and on the up and up. But again, 2-point question. What are you going to do? Let's see how you do with a slightly more difficult question, Brandon, as we get to your 3-pointer. And your 3-pointer comes in the category of heroes. So it could be just about any film. Your question is, in G.I. Joe Retaliation, what Cobra operative is portrayed by Ray Stevenson?
Those mixed bag movies.
Those new ones getting a lot of people in trouble.
Yep.
5, 4, 3.
repeat.
All right.
All right. In G.I. Joe Retaliation, what Cobra operative is portrayed by Ray Stevenson? Not surprising, David. Got 3 repeats before he used that one, still on the board. Got to think he's going to use those. Do his very best to get the answer.
Still has his 5, though.
It's true. And he has 5, 4, 3.
Eric Johnson. I don't know.
We were looking for Firefly. Firefly is the Cobra operative. Ray Stevenson performed. And that means we've come down to, Brandon, your 5-point question. If you hit it, you will stay alive. You will throw it back to Teddy, who will be forced to answer at his 5-point question, as his 3 will not catch him all the way up to you. That's right. It could be the end right here, but it may be continuing on. You may still be moving on, taking your shot at that championship. Question number 13. And your category, movie release dates. Maybe lucky. Can't go too deep with movie release dates. It's pretty much always one type of answer. Here we go. What year saw the release of Galaxy Quest?
Galaxy Quest, one of the best Star Trek movies, I have to say.
I know Scott Mance would agree with you.
He has 2 repeats.
And he has 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Absolutely. Your question, what year saw the release of Galaxy Quest? Wonderful film. Great performances across the board in this one. I highly recommend, even if you're not a sci-fi fan, watch Galaxy Quest. It's hilarious. More fun if you are. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
That is going to be his last repeat. Your final chance at this. What year saw the release of Galaxy Quest? Gonna need an answer in 5.
2005.
And your winner, moving on to World War Geek, he is Teddy, the Greek Freak Jovaras. What a matchup. We were looking for 1999, good year in film, 1999 for Galaxy Quest, but a well-fought match by Brandon. As I said, David, in this matchup, very interesting things, some things we've never seen before. Double spinner's choice, and then I think 5 or 6 points given away in steals at least. That's very, very impressive. Rare to see that happen. Again, anybody can have an off day, but you know who's not having an off day? Teddy not having an off day. What did you think of this matchup, David?
I actually was really I think this was a tense match, very great match. Maybe they didn't do so well in the second round, 5 points in the first round, but they kind of kept it going with the steals, so it made it interesting. No TKO, so that's always a good thing to see for a spectator standpoint. Yeah, I think this match is going to be one of the good ones.
Yes, absolutely. Very good matchup today. And as we said, Teddy heading on to World War Geek. Brandon, unfortunately, not moving forward at this time, but still can get into that qualifying matchup. So we may be seeing him make his way into the match yet, may even see these two facing off once again in that matchup. But what we're going to do real quick first, before we throw it to your post-match interviews with the man himself, we pulled him away from his busy schedule, the Right Honorable Geek Commissioner Corey Morissette. Before we do that, we're going to do this live, gentlemen. We want to get that number for you. And Teddy, I want to watch your face when you find out where you're entering World War Geek. Now, you know, World War Geek, 36 competitors, only one person walking out with that title. Big prize on the line for the MVP as well. It's going to be an amazing night. It's going to be full of stars, surprises, and a whole lot of geek knowledge. Teddy, if you had to guess what number you're going to be at after winning this matchup, any number at all between 1 and 36, where do you think you're going to be?
Man, I'd like to be 36, but I'm going to say probably around 28-ish.
He says he's probably around 28. Ironically, 36 and 28, picking two numbers that I believe, have already revealed.
Oh.
So those two are off the table. You're going to have to settle, Teddy, for number 24.
24, okay.
Two-thirds of the way through. That's a late number. That's actually very good for you. But we know there's some dangerous competitors coming after that.
League of Shadows, 27 and 28.
That is true, and we still got some big numbers to reveal, David. I've told you, as one of the only people in the league who knows where the numbers are actually fall at this point, just me and Corey at the moment, I got to say there's some dangerous names in some interesting positions that we have not yet seen debut. But enough about that. Let's hear more from our competitors, what they thought of the match today, what they think about World War Geek coming up, and when we'll see more of them with, as mentioned, your Right Honorable Geek Commissioner, Corey Morissette.
Well, thank you very much for that, Mr. Elk. My name is Corey Morissette. I am the Right Honorable Geek Minister of the Movie Trivia Face-Off, and today I'm here with the unfortunately vanquished Brandon Buck. Brandon, maybe before we get into the match, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get interested in the fan leagues, and how did you end up joining us here today?
I've been following the Movie Trivia Schmodown since basically season 3. I've watched almost every single match since then. I've missed a few here and there, and it always just looks like fun trying to see what kind of knowledge that I have too. I love watching movies. I watch movies all the time. If I started to keep a list of all the movies I've watched every year, it's probably 200 to 300. So I figured, why not give this a try and see what kind of knowledge I have against other people. So I've competed in several other fan leagues. Some matches are better than others. So I just thought I'd try and give this a shot.
Now, one thing we have over the other fan leagues is that we mirror the Movie Trivia Schmodown's format, which is designed to be about as stressful as it can possibly be. After general knowledge round 1, of course, we have the wheel round in round 2, which is always very stressful. Then round 3 with the increase in difficulty. So not making it easy for you on here today. We've seen a lot of rookies start out this year, maybe only getting 2-3 points in round 1, but you ended up with 5 points out of round 1. How did you feel about your performance after round 1?
Definitely could have done better. I feel like there were some questions that I maybe would have not jumped the gun so quickly. Maybe just taken a few extra seconds, think about it. I definitely probably would have gotten it there. Was that that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles question that I should have gotten that one. That one I'm actually kind of frustrated at myself at. Now, that was just 1 point, so that's not that big of a deal. And I thought I knew DCEU. I guess I don't know it as well as I thought I did. So
let's talk about round 2. This is a very interesting scenario that my esteemed colleague, the Elk, pointed out. Double spinner's choice isn't as rare as you would think. It's actually happened at least once this season in GEEKTACULAR as well. But this is a rare situation where you pick spinner's choice, you get the category you want, and then your opponent gets more points than you through steals. Was there just categories on the wheel that you were dying to stay away from? Was this a little bit of strategy, hoping your opponent wouldn't be able to steal from DCU as easy? What was your thinking picking DCEU?
I just thought that it was probably one of my better strengths. But there were just some questions in there that I never even thought that a question like that would be asked. So I guess I got to go back and maybe go a little bit more of a deeper dive into those movies. Maybe things that might seem not as important. Maybe kind of write those down so that next time I am prepared.
Now, one thing you'll notice with DCEU, and your opponent also will have noticed with MCU, is those are part of our main 8 fandoms. So they get picked a lot. They get asked a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of round 1, round 3 questions asked for those categories as well. So they tend to be a little deeper cut, as unfortunately you found out here today. But coming out of round 2, only behind 1 point. So still very much in this one. You ended up spitting Star Trek, Heroes, and movie release date. So you nailed your 2, no problem. You get an obscure G.I. Joe for your 3-pointer, and then a movie release date for a movie that maybe not a lot of people associate with movie trivia, but Galaxy Quest, an all-time classic.
Yeah, it is.
Round 3, obviously it came up a little bit short. Do you think you could have pulled Galaxy Quest on that movie release date, or is movie release dates a weakness of yours?
No, I feel like it is. It's not like a major strength, but I wouldn't say it's a weakness. I've seen the movie several times. I just didn't realize it was that old, like 20 years old. I thought it was a little bit like maybe 12 to 15 years old. So I was thinking like 02 to 05, but I just couldn't pull it.
No, and them's the break. So you end up with a very close match here today, but unfortunately couldn't quite pull it out, which means Teddy's moved on to World War Geek. However, we are having a qualifying free-for-all style match next weekend, Brandon. It's happening Saturday at 3 p.m. Are you interested in entering that and maybe earning your way back into World War Geek?
Definitely. I want to kind of redeem myself there. I felt like there were several questions here that if I had gotten them right, I would have been in a better spot there in round 3.
Well, Brandon, I'd like to thank you very much for debuting with us here today. It was a pretty good performance. I think you'll find when the GEEKTACULAR rankings are released, you're not in too bad a shape, even at 0-1. Do you have a YouTube page or anything you'd like to promote before we let you go here today?
I do have one. It's a very small page right now. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I don't have a unique link yet. But if you just search Brandon Buckingham, it should be one of the first ones on there. Or if you're on the Schmodown Discord, I did post a link to one of the videos for the exhibition matches. So if you want to go check those out.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much again, Brandon, for joining us here today. And I look forward to seeing you in the qualifying match that we're taping next Saturday. But when we come back, we'll be joined by today's winner, Teddy Jovaras. And I am back here today with our victor, Teddy Jovaras, the Geek Freak. Teddy, you got to be feeling pretty good. Your very first movie trivia face-off match, and you come away with a big victory. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was a little surprising. I was a little nervous coming in, so I think I performed a little better than I anticipated. So I'm glad to come out with a, first match, first win. Yeah.
Like I said to Brandon, for a rookie, we've taped a lot of rookie matches here lately, and we've seen a lot of 2-pointers, some 3-pointers, nerves really getting to people. But 5 points coming out of round 1, not too shabby, like the commentators mentioned. Both of you kind of trailed off near the end, but a good, solid start. Had to kind of help with settle the nerves down going into round 2.
Yeah, I think getting at least 50% of the questions in the first round kind of helped me get a little bit of momentum. And, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going to get in round 2. But like we saw in the second round, things took a little bit of a turn. But, I think it kept it pretty interesting.
Now let's talk about round 2, because again, we had another spinner's choice. And as Elk liked to point it out again, only 2 points out of spinner's choice, the same as your opponent here today, Brandon Buck. MCU had to be in a category that you're pretty comfortable going in with, but like I mentioned, you get a lot of deep cut questions in the cinematic universe type categories because they're asked all the time. Was it just, I'm going with my old tried and true, I've seen all the MCU movies, I'm going to try my luck at it, or was there something else driving that decision?
Yeah, I was between MCU and Middle Earth, but I think I had more confidence with, I've seen more of MCU, and I didn't trust myself if any Hobbit questions were asked, so I didn't want to risk that. But yeah, I didn't realize, how deep of questions they're going to get. Like, I totally missed some of those things. But, the back and forth, I think I should watch those movies a little more now, yeah.
Well, and that's not a bad thing, going back and watching all the Marvel movies. I'm currently doing that, and they're all pretty good. So at least you're not rewatching Transformers or something stupid like that. But still, You were able to steal 3 points from your opponent. He was only able to steal 2 from you. So you had a 1-point lead heading into round 3, which means you got to pick your numbers first. You only had to hit your 2-pointer, DCEU. I can tell you right now, your 3 and your 5 would have been The Matrix and Star Wars. So how comfortable would you have been had you had to have answer a 3 or a 5-point question here today?
Matrix probably would have been a little more difficult. I haven't seen that as much. Star Wars, I'm pretty confident, but if it's my 5-point question, how deep is that going to go? Who knows if I even knew that? But I think, I got a little lucky with that first one.
Let me put it this way. We actually have a Star Wars division. So when you're talking about a 5-point Star Wars question, they are pretty dang hard. As David Garcia can attest, he's one of our resident Star Wars contenders here. Still a 12-11 victory, and then you find out you're coming in number 24 in World War Geek. And when you started today, I don't even think you really knew what World War Geek was. All of a sudden, You've got a title shot happening in 2 weeks. Coming in number 24 in a 36-man free-for-all. Not a bad position to be in. You got to be liking your chances.
Yeah, that late in the game, I think I got a little bit of a chance, so I'm excited to see what I come up against when that all happens. So that's exciting.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you go here today?
And I'm just excited for World War Geek.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here today, Teddy. Great performance, a 12-11 victory over Brandon Buck. Now let's send it back to the desk with Andrew the Elk Kelk and David the Spaniard Garcia.
Thank you very much, Corey, for those wonderful post-match interviews. A lot being said by our competitors. A little bit of talk about that. Very interesting second round, David. Lots of steals, double spinner's choice. This was a heck of a matchup to watch. But one man who's definitely happy with the outcome today, he is a freak. But will he be a freak on a leash, or will he be the man with the title at the end of it? Number 24, not a bad spot for World War Geek. David, that could be a better spot than you have. What do you think about this matchup, and what do you think about these two competitors moving forward?
Well, as I said, this match was, I think, random. What is the word to describe it? I think nobody expected that outcome. Like the first spinner's choice, okay, you can get a category that you maybe thought that you could get the questions, then you don't really know it that well. The questions are deeper than you expected. But when Teddy selected this MCU for his spinner's choice, I was like, okay, you have to be pretty damn confident in that to choose it. Because as you mentioned, MCU is the favorite category of, 60% of our competitors, maybe?
Those MCU movies very popular nowadays, and definitely some deep cut questions coming in there, resulting in a second round we've never seen.
No, I actually didn't know what to say about that round. I mean, it was good for the match, but it was still surprising. That's good television, my folks. Or internet.
It absolutely is some good entertainment, to steal a term from some other gentlemen out there that I watch occasionally on YouTube. And I want to thank all of you, of course, for joining us here today at the Movie Trivia Face-Off. As mentioned many times, we've got some amazing stuff coming up, particularly World War Geek. We say it a lot, but that's because we're so excited about this event. We've been working hard to bring you an amazing event, 36 competitors, a whole lot of special guests. And if you want to be part of the Movie Trivia Face-Off and support the Schmodown, don't forget to check out patreon.com/Schmodown. As a member, you can get access to the Discord server, and you too could be competing right here on the Movie Trivia Face-Off. We would love to see you, and we would love to see you back for that World War Geek matchup. As always, thank you to our editors, our question writers, everybody working behind the scenes here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off does an amazing job, and they do it all for free and for you to bring you a little entertainment. Stay safe out there in these troubled times. You're welcome for being able to join me, the Elk, here on the desk, and I'm sorry for David the Spaniard Garcia.
Hey,
thanks for being here, folks. And we'll see you next time we face off.